video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
People like to compare Prince to Michael Jackson.
I'll be back.
Fuck, man. If you want to really jump into it, Prince was a musician first. I mean, you can talk about his vocals, you can do whatever you want, but you need to witness his actual like musician abilities before taking anything away from Prince.
Oh, I gotta go.
I mean, Michael Jackson didn't play music. Man. Yeah. I'm going to say I'm okay with this. As soon as you get back. I hear your toilet.
I know, Chris. From past, I know you're not a huge fan of YouTube. I'm gonna say YouTube. I myself personally love fucking YouTube. I love this band. I always have, but you know, it is what it is, right? I respect the fact that it's not one of your favorites. This I don't agree with, but this is a personal. Because in 1987, when this album came out, I fucking listened to it from the beginning to the end. To me, every song on this album is so fucking good. But that's a personal thing. Because honestly, folks, if you're actually listening right now, this would be in my top 10 album, my own personal top 10 album. I fucking love this album.
Wow.
I still have it. I don't have it on vinyl right now because I want to get it on 180 grams. That sounds like a fucking drug ordeal, but I fucking love this album. It's also a part of my growing up stage.
You know, one of my biggest, I never had a problem with YouTube until they did that deal with Apple.
I don't. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know a little bit about that. Yeah, I got a little bit.
They did that deal with Apple. And now if you have a fucking iPhone, that album, whatever album that was that they did that deal with, is automatically downloaded to your phone.
It was it had a lot. It had, what was that song with the Ramones?
I don't fucking remember. But as long as you two stayed over there, and I stayed over here, I never had a problem with YouTube. It's whatever. But YouTube, God,
I love this album.
Damn
Chris.
it.
I'm sorry. I just think of the
I don't
album.
want your fucking album on my fucking phone.
I remember that time. It was just, I do remember that particular. It was actually, there was two
DMX
songs on
has
pretty good, but
a song with fucking U2 on his latest album.
What was this, by the way?
Have you ever heard that song?
No, I'm glad you bring it because this is all music related. It is truly music related.
You might like it.
The link that I sent you with the DMX with the, by the way, folks, Chris and I, we do this shit all the time.
Yeah.
We'll send each other as we're shooting, doing this, we'll send each other, links or whatever. I sent Chris a DMX classic live performance at the TLA in Philly. I thought that was 2012. What was DMX's last album? What year was it? Now, I hate to bring up another question. Did he pass away? And I hate, because I understand. Was it 2021?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exodus was released right after that. He was making that album before he got sick. And that's actually the album that U2 is featured on. They sang the hook for him.
Okay. I'm sorry we don't have the same experiences on it, but it happens.
I've just never really gotten into their music, and then when they did that thing with the Apple Music, it rubbed me the wrong way, and it was just like, I'm like,
you know what?
They're good musicians. I get it.
They're Irish,
but it's like, fuck, stay off my phone.
I gotta say it now.
You know how many times I've deleted that fucking album? I guarantee I can go into my phone right now and it's fucking right there.
Sadly, I can't find it because
Song of Innocence. There it is, right fucking there. And I will delete it. I will delete it and it will come back. And I swear to God, fucking gets on my fucking nerves.
Let's just put it this way. No, I'm not going to. Chris, this is me being. I'm going to respect what you're going through right now. It's just this. This is me growing up right now. Okay, this is just. Trust me on this. Just, I get it. I understand. Why come on, God damn it? Because I think of like my own computer. Like, I fucking deleted you. Why did you come back? No. Let's go forward here. Seriously. This is just
fucking
my
bullshit.
personal. Joshua Tree was an amazing time in my life. I'll just leave it at that. So
I'll give it to Joshua Tree with the fucking Song of Innocence. Can fucking go fucking jump off a cliff for all I fucking care. Get that shit off my phone.
Definitely not changing the subject here because it is music related. Beastie Boys. I've said it to Chris before. I think it was during the podcast. I want to say, now I get the whole, let's say their original introduction is you got to fight for your right to party. To me, I was a fucking 18-year-old at the time. I got it. But as the Beastie Boys matured, I think I became more of a fan of the Beastie Boys when they matured, if that makes sense. There was just something about them when they got more culture into their music and field. There was just something about it. They were still Beastie Boys, but they had a lot of fucking punk and grudge. They had punk
Beastie
and
Boys.
They did. They brought rap. They were the first. I want to say they were the first rap grunge punk band.
I love fucking Beastie Boys. I think they're
you know what I mean?
Phenomenal.
Does that make sense?
If I could add anything, I know we're at 48, but License to Ill.
That should be in the fucking top 15.
It's like
that's
this
huge.
is cool. This is cool, but License to Ill was no.
That's a top 15 album there. That's so to me that was so important. That fucking album was probably bigger than Run DMC. I kid you not. Run DMC is
had a bunch of white dudes fucking talking that shit.
And this is no disrespect to Run DMC because to me they were the godfathers to rap. Okay.
Yep.
To rap, they were, and I know that I could get it. There would be guys before them, but Run DMC,
Russell Simmons did his fucking thing. He's good.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to my time. You know what I mean? That's just you got to. It's always going to be personal. All right, Chris, help me out with Drake here. Help me. Fuck Drake before he doesn't belong on this list.
So
Exodus. Oh, we'll go back. Marley. Okay. We'll go back to Exodus. God damn, this is going to be a long pot. It's music. It's got to be long.
Sorry, but my whole I've always hated Drake. I'll just put it out there. Always hated Drake. I can't fucking stand that Canadian motherfucker. But no disrespect to Canadians. But
we're all North Americans here.
But yeah, this recent everyone knows where I stand due to this recent little beef situation we got. Kendrick versus Drake.
If you love our podcast, you understand exactly where he's coming from.
I've always hated Drake. There ain't fucking no fucking way Drake is ever going to be on a top 100 nothing. It's fucking throwaway. It's disposable fucking rap. It's all fuckboy shit. No. Get it out. No.
Why do I feel like this son of a bitch is just basically riding the coattails off of others?
He's only signed due to fucking Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, who's a fucking phenomenal rhymer. He's a great artist, like great albums, but no.
Not to interrupt Lil Wayne, Exodus, to me, that's a band from the 80s, but then I get Bob Marley and the Wailers. I honestly always got confused about this. Now, there's so many people love Bob Marley and the Wailers.
I enjoy Bob Marley.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not love Bob Marley? He's nothing but about peace and love.
Mm-hmm.
He wants everybody to, 46 is disrespectful right now with Bob Marley. I'm just going to say that. Oh my God, Bjork.
That's fair. And I don't even know that album, but that's fair. Bjork?
Bob Marley, he just deserves better than that.
Damn.
Bjork, she's a little weird little shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
So I'd lump Bjork into the same category as Yoko Ono. I just don't fuck with that shit.
She's kind of like, Bjork's like, I got a guitar pick that smells like butter.
Yeah.
That's how she,
watch me dream about Ooh.
I did not see it. Okay, what was it about? Wait a minute. What the fuck did I miss? I did miss something here. Stevie Wonder. I don't know this album, but Stevie Wonder is a fucking, you know what? Stevie Wonder is a fucking genius. We'll just go there. I can't put a number on that one. Oh my God, this
whoever created this list had to be going through some sort of like existential crisis.
Talking Heads.
Like they had to be like, oh my God, what am I doing right now?
First of all, this album right here is fucking awesome. So 43 is bullshit. So I'm going to put that right now. I love this fucking album. It reminds me of the Pretenders I'm sorry, I'm going off. But fuck this. I'm not. Move on. This bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Janet Jackson's Control. I love Rhythm Nation, by the way. I'm going to say that right now. I don't know what's ahead of us. But if this, let's say hypothetically, if this was Rhythm Nation 42, bullshit.
Great
that
song.
Fucking album is amazing.
Great album. Great. I'm with you on that.
Rhythm Nation.
I have instances where I prefer Janet to Michael.
Oh yeah, I feel the same way. I do. Oh God,
I'm okay with. Yeah.
Yeah, I get. This is not Rhythm Nation.
I'm okay with it, I guess. Sure.
Just this isn't Rhythm Nation. I'm thinking out loud here. Yeah. That's just. I love that fucking. Maybe that's a personal thing.
Maybe this was like. Maybe they took into the fact that it was like her coming into her own. Maybe Rhythm Nation. She was still kind of.
That was a fucking badass album. Rhythm Nation, by the way, had everything in it. Okay, Outkast.
Aquemini? Oh my God.
You spoke of Outkast in a few podcasts ago.
Andre 3000 is one of the top rhymers in the whole entire game. Damn.
I could outrhyme him.
That's Aquemini is yes. I agree. I'm
I
okay with
remember
that. 41
at that time. That was in the early 2000s. God damn, they were huge. They were huge. Oh God, Aretha Franklin. I never loved a man the way I loved you. Aretha Franklin. This is difficult because we're talking about albums right here. Aretha Franklin, yes.
Going from Outcast to Aretha Franklin, like, is like, you know what I mean?
I like the fact that they at least have her in the top 40. Aretha Franklin, oh my God, it's so difficult right now. Because she is the diva. She is the queen of soul.
Yeah.
Her vocals are extremely powerful. I talk about.
I could almost put her on this. I could put Nina Simone right up there too. I love Nina.
The fact that I've always, or in other words, okay, Ann Wilson, fucking amazing. Okay, Pat Benatar, vocals that I've heard in person, they're so fucking strong. Aretha Franklin, I actually seen a live performance, not in person, but they were showing. Oh my God, her fucking vocals were powerful. Let's put heavy metal vocalists would love to have the strength of her lungs. But okay, you said Nas.
God, thank God.
39.
This is a modern list, right?
21st century.
No, that's inside of top 20.
Top 20.
God damn, Illmatic, New York State of Mind. Oh Jesus, no.
Now, no disrespect for with the culture of the past, the 21st century. I'm not. In other words, with hip hop and rap, you could definitely tell this is a 21st century. And I'm excited. I'm not being disrespectful. I mean, fuck, we got Carole King right here. We go to a Nas to Carole King. At least they're showing some homages right there. But you could definitely tell. This is where I can say, Apple, you did a good job of bringing in the 21st century.
It's diverse.
That I will say they did a good job.
Illmatic.
Tapestry.
I feel like we skipped over Illmatic. If I could just drop a little.
Go back. It's that simple.
What Nas did with that album was just, man, that's 39 is a crime. He created a whole landscape with that fucking album. There was a big beef between Queensbridge. It was Queens versus Bronx versus Brooklyn, and it was who's the king of New York at that time. This is before we had West Coast rap, because as you know, hip hop originated from the Bronx. And it was like, okay, we created this shit. We are the founders of this shit. This shit belongs to us. And it was like, nah, like we're better at it over here. Nah, we're better at it over here. So then that started the whole beef thing. So it developed out of that. But you're talking the bridge is over. You're talking like Queensbridge. You're talking about like KRS-One. You're pulling Nas into it. You're pulling Mobb Deep into it. You're pulling in all these artists that went to war before East Coast, West Coast was even a thing. Like the East Coast versus East Coast was originally how it started. And it was about who's the king at that moment. And this album kind of like shut all of them up, because before that it was Mobb Deep and KRS-One going at it over Queensbridge and The Bridge Is Over. Which The Bridge Is Over was a monster track, but it wasn't definite. But when this thing dropped, it was like he showed them like the platform. This is how you make an album. This is how you squash beef, and this is how you make an album. And he's still making albums to this day. Nas is in my top 5 greatest MCs to ever do it. 39 is fucking stupid.
Chris, you did an amazing job of describing everything about Nas and its development. It's full circle. Now, this is 21st century, and we've gone as back as Aretha Franklin here. But I got to thinking about, as you were describing that, I got to thinking of artists that I wasn't like gun-ho over. But why the fuck at 39 right now, they ain't even fucking talked about Bob Dylan. Because there was hidden messages there. There's influences
Taylor.
there with Bob Dylan. James Taylor, okay. James Taylor.
Fuck.
And then, of course, I'm sorry. It does. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
This list is a crime. Portishead should not have been on this.
And I'm not, and I want to make this very clear. I don't want to be disrespectful for others that deserve to be even on this list right now. But there's others right now that I'm like, why aren't they on here?
Yeah.
Like I said, Bob Dylan, why the fuck is he on here right now? But then again, this is 39. I should be careful about my thought. I'm just thinking about,
I mean,
Chris
Bruce Springsteen
should have been on. In other words, he should have been someone on this poll here that's describing this. You know what? It's just this is what music does to us.
Yeah.
You're passionate about it. You're passionate about what you're seeing. It's beautiful. It really is. It is. This is beautiful right now.
The conversation.
Tapestry.
The conversation, right?
Yeah.
Conversation is important because
Tapestry. I mean, this is what got her into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, by the way. No disrespect to Carole King, but this was one of her big albums that got her. Sorry. Just
I see one coming up that I'm real excited. Sorry.
I'm trying not to even pay attention to what's on the angles here. Oh my God. It'll come to me as we're going through this list here. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
36 chambers. Golly. If Method Man is in my top 10 MCs ever, like he's one of the best to ever do it to me.
Dolly Parton hasn't even popped up here, and I know she had a huge album. Sorry. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to go around the realm here. Sorry.
Wow. Like,
there are a lot of rap artists on this list. That, you know what I mean? I mean, that's pretty huge.
That's criminally low. Like Wu-Tang. I mean, they created an entire like genre. Like you only have so many bars when you're doing actual rap songs. It can be broken down mathematically, right?
That's pretty interesting. Because you think about music in bars alone. Seriously.
You clear bars. Like it's set. When you do a song, an artist will normally commission you and they will ask you for a certain number of bars. Wu-Tang literally made famous to say, fuck that. I'm going to rhyme as long as I want to. I'm going to create 96 bars. I'm going to do as many bars as I fucking want to. And we're going to call it pretty much the cipher. So what they would do is they would cipher and they would go through these long, huge bars songs with no hooks, and they would create it and they would just turn it out. They didn't care.
It's challenging because there's a lot. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of wow. That is challenging. Very interesting.
Wu-Tang, I mean, you're talking about Ghostface Killer, you're talking about Method Man, you're talking about so many phenomenal artists in this one group. 37 is that's criminally high.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers right now. Oh my God. Tom Petty was so fucking huge. He wrote so many songs for. Sorry, I'm just thinking of so many.
Tom Petty's fucking.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It popped into my head. We're at 37 right now.
All artists, all whatever you want to call it, all genres. I mean, they all have geniuses.
Yeah,
that's what we need to respect.
When you mentioned like the Pars 12, I started thinking of other artists and that I know that have a fucking range that's beyond. Wow, man, God damn this fucking Apple.
Wow,
Beyonce's. I don't. I don't know what to say here. I just don't.
Vocally, she's
Something.
phenomenal. She's great.
Yeah, I
But-
just something.
There's no substance after that. I said it. I don't care.
All right, I'm the Clash.
Ooh.
Wow. I know how important the Clash is, but then in Sex Pistols, there's always this debate between them. But this is not a debate. This is a fucking.
Yeah.
The Clash. I'm just gonna flat out say it. They became a pop band, a rock and roll pop band, and I better. You know what? Fuck it.
You know, I tend to take Sex Pistols in that argument, but
And Sex Pistols, I have one album though. Public Enemy, which they are very much known to be the agriculture, the culture, the beginning, the stepping stone.
this feels like they threw this on here just to remain relevant.
They are yeah, I something tells me, even though I just know enough. Dear Lord, I mean, they were like the first, like, okay, let's do something with Anthrax. I mean,
I don't think this is on anybody's lists that I know of.
yeah, I mean, if it's in your collection, I get it, but yeah, I just don't see that there.
I mean,
Radio.
I don't. I go back and forth on Radiohead. I'll let you go.
Radiohead. Look, I understand why there's fans of Radiohead. I understand that. I truly do. But honestly, I think this number's too low. I think Radiohead, anything in Radiohead's, look, Radiohead's really only, when it comes to a top 10 song, they've only had one.
You know what?
As an album,
I'll throw my hat. I'll throw my hat into the circle here. You know when an artist or a band becomes like self-aware, like when they become when they
let's
reach
get back
that
to the
point
80s there.
Yeah, when they reach that point when they're like, oh, we're fucking great. We're phenomenal. We are awesome. That's what I feel like Radiohead hit.
Yeah, I'm going to skip forward because I feel that same way too.
Yeah. They didn't actually get there. They just
I think Radiohead could be in the fucking like low 90s, early 80s, to be honest with you.
Yeah. At best.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of respect and love for this right here. I understand that the gentleman, his time was short, so I'm going to be respectful about that, because maybe there was so much in one album, because let's face it, in all honesty, there could be so much in one album for me. So maybe this is at a sweet spot at 32, or maybe it's too, I don't know. Something tells me this could be a sweet spot.
I'm all right with it. I'm not a Biggie fan. I'm a Tupac fan. So
yeah.
Seeing how much further he is than Tupac is a little disturbing to me. But I know there's a whole cult that Biggie was like the greatest rapper we've ever had. So I kind of got to respect that. But at the same time, Christopher Wallace, I didn't really like. This is government name. His rhymes didn't really meet my life experiences, so I didn't connect with it as much.
I'm gonna ask a shitty question. Do you think that if Faith had gone a different direction, you know what I mean?
Not what? Okay. I'm not gonna.
I'll
there.
just, you know what?
What direction?
Let's just say.
See, here's what makes
shit didn't happen.
Here's what makes hip hop beef great. Did we actually ever get a confirmation that, Tupac fucked her?
There's no confirmation from what I understand.
Yeah. That's what makes hip hop. It's literally, it's a boxing match. Ooh, I just stuck you in the gut right there.
It's almost like American history. It is American history if you think about it.
It's landing blows. It's seeing how you're going to stand at the end of it. It's a boxing match. It's like, okay, I hit you in the gut a couple times. Let's see how long your legs last. It's a sport. It's great.
So, sometimes it can almost sadly be popped into an urban legend too, which is really fucking pathetic. Would I
not doubt that Faith fucked Tupac? Probably. I would say she probably did, but do we have confirmation? We don't know.
Interesting, right here.
Jagged Little Pill.
Great fucking album. There's no doubt about it.
For its time,
yeah. For its time, I'm gonna go ahead and safely say I'm fine with this number here. But a great album.
I could do it. Do it. I bought it. I listened to it. I can do it.
It's still great to this day. It really is. So yeah, I'm safe with where it's at. That's, I go, if I listen to it, I enjoy it. But yeah, 30 something. Yeah. Billie Eilish. I think her brother deserves more credit. Yeah.
30?
I think her brother should have his name more representative, to be honest with you.
Well, he creates all the music.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Enough said. I have no fucking clue what this is.
Tribe Called Quest. Quest used to be great, man. It's okay. I feel like this is more culturally aware. This is aware of the culture. Let me put this on here to stay relevant as well. There's nothing controversial. There's nothing like lyrically going on here.
That's sad if you think about it.
This feels like a cop out, but
yeah,
Tribe Called Quest is okay. I mean,
it's a cop out. Something tells me that's a cop out.
You might as well put Common. Put Common on the list. That is stupid. That should be probably 11 or 12.
Wow.
That's stupid.
Wow. That's a slap in the fucking face right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Dark Side of the Moon should not be 28. It should be, I'll be honest, it should be in the top. I'm going to honestly say, okay, 28's not terrible. I'm going to say top 25. But when you look into the Dark Side of the Moon, oh my fucking God. It is a periodic album. It is. Okay, it's the legendary album that when the lion roars, the second time the NGM, you could actually turn down the volume of Wizard of Oz, play this album and loop, and it goes in sync with the whole entire movie. How many fucking albums can you say does that? It's a fucking fun and for if you're like me, if you hate the electric slide, no, that's off the brick wall. Never mind. Sorry, the wall.
That's fucking dumb.
Now we get a Led Zeppelin 2. Fuck. Led Zeppelin 2 at 27. Suck me sideways. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm so interested to know what's ahead of these.
All right. I got to say something right now. Okay. This top 100 has paid a lot of respect to the culture and the genre of R&B, hip hop, and rap. Okay. And I don't want to take anything away from that at all whatsoever. And I get it. This is the 21st fucking century of, let's face it, these songwriters and the talent that's behind this Apple bullshit. chances are they
Bro,
don't really know the history that was beyond 1999.
listen,
There's fucking Led Zeppelin 2 at 27.
There's artists that shouldn't even be on this list that we went past.
Led Zeppelin 2. Are you? This is fucking bullshit right here. We've just looked at dark.
Am I seeing what I'm seeing? The next one. Fucking kidding me? No way. No way. It's fucking awful.
Shit, yeah.
That was fucking awful.
Miles Davis is a genius, and when it comes to as a musician, so 25 is okay.
Inside of the top 25, I feel like should be timeless. There ain't no fucking way my dark twisted fantasy is fucking timeless.
I don't like him, so I'm not gonna. I've said enough right there.
That's fucking insane.
All right, David Bowie. The rise and fall of fucking 20. That's not bad. David Bowie is a huge culture of music. This is safe because this is not one of his best. But yeah, that's safe. I can respect that in the top 25. So at least I'm good with that.
Hey, go back to that.
Sure.
I just want to link that. CK West on the top.
CK West.
K West.
I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
No, it's right there.
Here?
On the album cover. K West. Kanye West. Foreshadowing?
Oh. Gotcha. I'm okay. Oh shit. Okay, I thought I'd screwed something up there.
That's like some Illuminati shit we just stumbled upon.
Top 25. I could see that. Right there. All right. Chris and I had to take a personal break, and somehow I did something different with the screen here. But this is actually a little bigger visual for me, for the old fuckers like me. What the fuck is this?
Get the fuck out of here. Get
Draft Punk.
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk, sorry. Yeah, you're right, Daft Punk. It's bigger and I still can't read it right.
I don't know how to describe this besides they're pretty much two DJs. They're two DJs, and they literally wear helmets. Like their entire show, they wear.
So they're fucking Vegas act they got on here.
Essentially, I mean, I don't know how to listen. This should not be in the top 100 of any list, let alone a 23.
Their take on funk, disco, and soft music or 80s pop never sounding this stuff. Yeah.
Listen, all these people at fucking Apple are getting high as fuck and they're listening to music, clearly.
Steve Jobs has got to be rolling in his grave on this shit. I mean, seriously.
That's fucking absurd. Daft Punk is 23.
I mean, goddamn, why the fuck are they adding in at this point at 24 and up to 99 at one point? Why is there a goddamn soundtrack? Is there some soundtracks that got to be better than this shit?
There's your boys right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I'm and I've missed out on this being on my fucking playlist. Okay. All right, Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. I know how huge this fucking album was and how it's been. And okay, before 2000, the year 2000, this fucking album. Let's put it this way. If you were in New York City, from New York City to Chicago, down to Dallas, up to LA, this fucking album right here was huge across America. Bruce Springsteen was known, if you're going to go see a live performance, it's not the same today as it was back then, but this guy could outdo you. As a fan, as a fucking fan, you would be exhausted, and Bruce Springsteen would be up on that stage outperforming you as a fan. Now, that's just the genre. That's just basically the basic in a nutshell, Bruce Springsteen. But I know how important this album has been in the rock and roll history. 22. I feel like that should be closer to 12 instead of 22.
Fair.
And we're talking rock and roll, rhythm and blues, and, well, basically blues. I mean, everything about rock and roll, that it's all right here in this album. Everything. Blues,
I even brought
R&B.
that up earlier. Like, Bruce Springsteen isn't on this list. Like, I was expecting it to be earlier, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're like me, if you're fascinated about rock and roll history, if you want to know some roots, this right here is a very major, important stepping stone. And Bruce Springsteen, yeah, he can teach you some shit, that's for sure.
And one of the first places that we ever discovered Courtney Cox.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yes, if you love music, whether it's country, whether it's anywhere from Nashville, because let's face it, if that's where really music is truly important at. From Chicago to St. Louis to Nashville to Washington, D.C. to Seattle, Bruce Springsteen has it all right there. He has it all.
And that quote right there.
I always try to speak to my times in the way I best could.
My times. That's what makes every artist great, is speaking for their time, what resonates in their time period, because it all changes, and you got to take in consideration for what those time periods were, what those artists had to deal with. You always have to do that.
I'm going to bring a baseball analogy right here. Pete Rose. He was a hustle. Pete Rose was a guy who was never really supposed to be, and he became legendary. This is a guy that could do anything in baseball because he hustled his ass off. He worked his way from the bottom.
For sure.
Put aside all that fucking, gambling thing. Pete Rose has even admitted to this day, he fucked up. Pete Rose was
he shouldn't have been discluded from being one of the greatest of all time, because I mean he's the king. He made a mistake, but yeah.
Pete Rose is the Big Red Machine. He was the originator. He was there before Johnny Bench, Dave Concepcion. I mean, I can go on. Johnny Bench.
Agreed.
Bruce Springsteen is the hit king of rock and roll. From anybody, in other words, I'll put it this way: Chris, anyone who's a huge fan, who loves the culture of the roots of R&B with rap and hip hop, the underground, the dirtiness, the hardcore, the everything about the roots. That's Bruce Springsteen right there. And I'm saying this right now. I'm not like a diehard Bruce Springsteen fan, but this son of a bitch right there, he's respect. Roots. Yes, he is roots, big time. He had to work his ass off to get to where he was at. Mm-hmm. And you brought up friends, Courtney Cox. I mean, seriously, this is a guy, they laughed at him.
They laughed at all the greatest.
Yeah. So I'm telling you what, man, this is serious underground right there. The guy was fucking.
He was dedicated to his craft.
Yeah. Just because music to him was everything. He just didn't stop. Gotta love that shit. And please come on. Oh, shit. Oh, finally the Beatles. I was getting scared there.
Didn't even make it inside the top 20, huh?
This is just the Revolver album, okay?
Yeah.
We still got Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper's, but I'm just thinking right now.
That's
Revolver is, oh, wow. I was getting a little scared there. I noticed I haven't said anything yet. The Beatles, I mean, okay, let's face it. As we all know as human beings, there's the Bible, and the Beatles are pretty much the Bible when it comes to music, when it comes to rock and roll music. Wow. Revolver, I could see that being on the high note out of all of, but goddamn. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just shut up because there's so much. There's endless amount of stuff about the Beatles.
I got nothing. I can't denounce and I can't pronounce. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. Like, there's certain artists that are established that you just, as a music lover, you must just every head. What Mike Tyson say? Every head must bow. You know, you
John
just bow,
Lennon and
you just know that they did what they did in their time period. They were untouched, and you must respect that. I mean, it's the same thing with Mike Tyson did it to Ali, and if you're respectful, you should just acknowledge.
this isn't what makes music at all whatsoever. But Sir Paul McCartney, recently became a billionaire. A billionaire. He's the first in rock and roll history to become a billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire. I don't even know why I brought that because this says money has nothing to do with music. But if it wasn't for the Beatles, we wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this list. That's all I'm going to say. The Beach Boys. There is so much about the Beach Boys. Let's put it this way. I know not everything runs through California. Not everything runs through the Southern sound, the beach sounds. But if it wasn't for the Beach Boys, let's put it this way. Well, the fucking Eagles wouldn't exist. Yeah, I don't know how to put this album right here. It's not that I am obsessed over the Beach Boys, but I just know that they're wow.
I know what they did in their time period that they existed. So,
Charles Manson was obsessed with. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go. Here we go, Dr. Dre. Let's get into something that's a little. Chronic album at 19, Chris.
I've been talking about that for a while, and it came above those two. Wow.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, number 19, the Chronic album.
This was literally the album that took this in Doggy Style, as we talked about. I mean, this took the East Coast. This took the East Coast, and it was like, nah, like we can do it. We can do it over here, our style. We can do it almost as good, if not better.
My gut tells me this should be in the top 20. This was the one that started it all. Mm-hmm. And I know that. I know enough that this was a huge You Walk on the Moon album type of thing. I'm just
fucking kidding me. You shitting me? No way.
Just say when.
Let's find out what 17 is. I'm not gonna go there.
My peripheral vision is doing well enough here.
Wow. Listen, I think Taylor, a great artist. Fine.
How much is producers behind this shit?
I'm just saying, Taylor's great, okay? I'm not going to try to take anything away from her, but oh my God. Especially that album. And notice how it says Taylor's version, because you know what? Apple and her went through this whole big legal conglomerate because she didn't want Apple to have the rights to her music. So that's why she started naming all these albums Taylor's version, and she started selling it through Apple because she would, if you go through and look at it, she's taken all of her old albums and she's redone them and called them Taylor's versions, and she's put them on Apple to be resold. It's all marketing. It's all wow. So the fact that they use 1989 Taylor's version is crazy, because there was originally just 1989.
Selfishly, in a defensive mode, at 1989, she probably wasn't even fucking thought of or born yet. I was 19 years old then, so it was a great year, and somehow this is butchering it.
Yeah, no. This was just her recreating that sound because she liked the 80s sound.
Kids, and I hope to God kids are not listening right now. I'm sorry that you've only had a few artists to listen to in the past few years, because this is what you get. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Taylor Swift, but because there's only so many safe labels like Taylor Swift. And I'm willing to bet that Taylor Swift is not responsible for every song that's been on her album. In other words, I'm willing to bet, because let's face it, there's other performers out there that has other artists that's used other writers for their songs. In other words, I'm trying to be cool about this. It's not her fault that you guys have not had shit of a variety, because from what I'm always hearing with iHeart fucking radio, yes, iHeart fucking radio is all about streaming their ads. Because that's what they are. That's why we do not like listening to our car radios. iHeartRadio is controlling shit. They're about selling and selling and selling and selling. So they're selling their fucking ads. And guess what else they're selling? This person right here. Because they have no one else to sell. They don't.
And
this is what you get. And that's why she's Taylor Swift all the fucking time.
I think she's, at her core, she's a good artist. She will write, she will sing, she will play her,
and she's safe.
She will play her, she's a musician. She will do this, that, and the other. I think she's another artist that fell into the global conglomerate. And
Chris, to be honest, every fucking song she has right now sounds exactly the same as as you heard before.
Right.
I'm being honest. I'm trying not to be rude. I would rather kids have Taylor Swift than the other negative shit that's out there. And I'm not talking about music. I'm just saying Taylor Swift is actually a positive role model for our kids.
Yeah.
But no disrespect to her. She has no fucking... who is she competing against? Nobody.
Yeah. This does not deserve even top 100, let alone fucking 18.
God, I feel better about the 80s already. It's like I feel bad because I'm blaming her for what's going on today in pop music.
What's crazy is to take all the beautiful music around us, even in present day, let alone like the 80s, 90s, when music was like fucking booming. I mean, 80s music for some people is an entire lifestyle. I mean,
it was. It's
not even like it was. Like people that didn't even grow up in it still love 80s music. You know what I mean?
It's actually listed it from the 1950s to 2020s. The 80s is the most popular music out of every decade. Yeah. The 80s is the most popular because there were more genres, and MTV had a lot to do with it too. Because you've had the first time of the visuals of an artist, and it just kept on booming and booming and booming and booming. And it was okay to listen to heavy metal, pop, rap, country, R&B, there was so much out there available. Today,
I'm not even trying to say it in like a negative tone. Like there are like kids that are growing up right now that would much rather listen to 80s music. And they didn't even grow up then. They're still kids. They're growing up right now, but they have nothing and they love 80s music. I know a few of them personally, which is crazy. So to put that at 18 is just bizarre.
Well, in the top in 2020, because it started a new decade. And to be fair, there's only been 4 years, but it's still 3%. Says a lot there. Marvin Gaye, what's going on? Marvin Gaye, huge. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't see this album being in the top 20. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's actually, when it comes to R&B, Motown, fuck Jackson 5, and Marvin Gaye, there's no doubt about it. He was such a big glamour, but we're finally getting actually Motown right now, other than what we had with Aretha Franklin. And that's sad. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but this is 21st century. And I feel like they just put that in there as like, I
mean, are you saying this is above Trouble Man?
Because
I don't know where this is going. Because if this is if Trouble Man isn't even on the list, that's a fucking problem. First off,
where oh my god, I'm thinking of right now of I'm going down. I'm even thinking of other fucking Motown artists that are. Oh my god, we haven't. Wow. Okay, I better just scroll a little bit more because
okay. So we'll be good with that for now. But if I don't see Trouble Man pop up, we need to revisit that because that makes no fucking
Joni Mitchell. Look, I understand. She is in the rock. She is legendary. You know what? I'm gonna scroll to 15.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. That's fine.
That's
that's
Adele.
Get the fuck out.
This is a good album. I will give it. I do enjoy this album when I'm in that mood. But in the top fucking 20.
Keyword good.
I mean, it's like I try to put aside at my playlist, but let's say 10 other people's playlists, I don't see that. Trying to bear it down.
All right. I know this is a worldwide list.
This is their
but
biggest fucking album.
I know this is
Really?
a worldwide list, but I want to say I almost guarantee over 50% of music consumption is through Americans.
Oh, definitely. It is. I mean, shit. It's
And
UK. It's UK. It's either the UK or the US.
We're putting
That's what it
her
has
above
been.
Joni Mitchell right now.
21st century.
Okay. Sure. What's next? Stevie Nicks?
Let's think of album too. We gotta think. Remember, this is album. Because I mean, okay, let's put aside everything. This is actually a good album. Honestly, it is. But there's albums that I personally love that I'm already like, well,
okay, I
fuck
can't.
This list.
Maybe it's good to people that I don't relate to this. I don't
Bob
relate
Dylan
to
14.
Well, there's Bob
Now,
Dylan. Okay.
Yeah, this album I know definitely is fucking huge. This makes sense. I would say in the top 20. This was like a folk music, rebellion album. Oh my God, help me out here. Bob Dylan. I mentioned him not too long ago.
Yeah.
One of the old school original. You know what? This I agree with in the top 20. I'm not a big Bob Dylan fan, but I know how fucking huge. Let's put it this way. If it wasn't for Bob Dylan, you wouldn't have rap today. Because Bob Dylan is one of the original fucking he's poetic. He's like one of your, when it comes to rhyme, there's no doubt about it. He knows his shit. He's got some, yeah. And maybe, yeah, but oh my God.
What the fuck?
Oh, come on. I know Jay-Z is, but I don't fucking know shit about, I honestly don't know his albums.
Okay. Wow.
The Blueprint.
So the
2001.
The Blueprint is wow. Top
2001.
13. Wow. Jesus Lord. All right. So DMX and Jay-Z had a big beef because they kind of came up at the same time. In fact, they battled each other several times growing up in the Bronx, Brooklyn. Here, Jay-Z was a product of Marcy Projects, and DMX grew up in Yonkers, New York. So they battled each other quite frequently because they wanted to be known as the King of New York. There's a lot of speculation, but DMX is kind of like the truth on the subject. It came out that kind of Jay-Z shelved one of his projects, one of DMX's projects, when he took over from Russell Simmons, who was
the producer, right?
Yeah, he was the previous owner of Def Jam from his old record label. He took over from Run DMC, I believe. But anyways, he took over Def Jam, and then eventually Jay-Z has become the new CEO for Def Jam, and DMX was still held under the Def Jam record label, and kind of shelved one of his projects. And it was kind of like one of those situations where he got blacklisted due to Jay-Z's influence, and he was the CEO of Def Jam. DMX was very vocal on it, and he pretty much said, okay, you don't want any competition. I see what the problem is. I'm going off on a tangent because this is bringing up bad feelings with me. I kind of dislike Jay-Z, sorry. I feel like he took DMX's talent and he just fucking squashed it. He really ran over it. He ran over it with a car, this, that, and the other. So to see him positioned where he's positioned on this list, the only reason that album is so fucking, I won't say the only reason, one of the main reasons is because of Eminem, Renegade.
You know, it's so funny. I think of just Jay-Z as someone who DJ'd and just being around a culture of people and all that. It just seems like there wasn't really, he hasn't, in a nutshell, it seems like he hasn't done shit.
No, Jay-Z came up under Notorious B.I.G. He was like his understudy.
So they ride off the coattails off of a lot of people, don't they? Certain artists.
Absolutely. And you know who was closely tied to Jay-Z right now? Diddy.
Yeah. It's
no pedophiles on this list.
You know what's
Apple.
fucked up?
No pedophiles. Fuck.
I pay so much for streaming services, but I want to say 90% of the shit that's on my TV at the living room is fucking YouTube. And I noticed that because I could actually, what's really fucking sad is I could actually go down and I enjoy going down, trying to figure out different ways to set up different proportions of a guitar, whether it's a truss rod, the neck, with the fucking Floyd Rose, all this shit. And yet, because certain things are so big, I did not search that shit on Sean Combs. I did not go down that. It's just, unfortunately, because it was so big, YouTube, the news wants to push it in your fucking face. But I did see something with Sean Combs and this guy right here.
Jay-Z's been a fucking... a sphinx since fucking P. Diddy went down.
You know, Chris,
they're all I'm gonna you can edit this out if you want to later, but I'm gonna go out on a real fucking limb here and say that they are, because I've seen too much evidence, they are all in fucking bed with each other. Fucking Jay-Z, fucking Oprah, fucking Will Smith, fucking P. Diddy, all of them. All the Kevin Hart, all of them.
Do you think possibly because, we talk about music today in 2024 and since 2020, there hasn't been much out there that's been even joltingly entertaining for most listeners. Do you think that sometimes some of these individuals, like we're going to use Sean Combs as an example, because they knew there wasn't much talent out there, they almost went down a gangster role of getting other ways of, because they were so used to making that high money from the music industry, and because they couldn't find any more entertainment, they were using they were going down avenues that were so dark and that was so terrible.
I think
they knew they could get money that way.
I think we witnessed.
I mean, there's so much talk about trafficking and all that.
I think we witnessed literally like some of these sickest individuals, whether they were inherently or whether they were because of the business that they got into. I think we witnessed some of the sickest individuals we've ever witnessed in history. Yeah. If you can start at the Weinstein level and then trickle down from there. Because I think all of these, I mean, I've seen videos lately with Kevin or Will Smith's kid, Jaden Smith, like coming up behind Justin Bieber and like grabbing him by the hips, and like, I'll send you the video. It's fucking disgusting. Like I think there's a whole understudy of disturbing shit going on that we don't even see as the public.
And you know what? It's so funny. I think for individuals that could sit here, and we haven't done it. You and I have not, but there's been enough individuals that have followed the train wreck of Corey Feldman, and Corey Feldman, of course, tried everything in his power to talk about this subject matter of individuals out there that were, doing what they were doing. It's like, you sometimes kind of wonder how much of that was Corey Feldman right about? Because right now, with this Corey Feldman, he's trying to all right, I don't have anything to do with it. I did everything I could. It hasn't done me any good. It's brought nothing but negativity. Now he's doing this whole music thing, which he's been doing for a while. And it's almost like, come on, he's got to know he sucks at what he's doing. Is this another version of Andy Kaufman? Because it is entertaining as hell. It's so bad, it's bad. He's making everybody else look very talented. It's
a car wreck.
It is. I swear to God, sometimes I'm thinking, come on, he knows his shit. He's just pulling another Andy Kaufman, right? But he did try to warn a lot of people, and people ignored it. How he was, saying the Hollywood is fucking evil as hell. And sometimes I started thinking about with the Sean Combs, they went so deep. And we've heard it wasn't just in the last 4 years. It's been going on for a while that they haven't been able to find any fucking talent. The producers out there are just, it was 10 minutes ago. I was saying Taylor Swift, she has no competition. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of these fucking monsters involved in this shit, because we can't find any other talent out there.
They're all fucking scared of the fucking mongers we have going on in the fucking seats of power.
Oh boy, speaking of no talent, here's Radiohead at number 12.
I don't fucking get it. I saw that and I tried to block it out.
They've had one fucking song and they've been writing off of that shit.
Listen, I can listen to Radiohead, but come on, putting them in a generational list like this?
Yeah, this is bullshit. Bull, fuck. I mean, goddamn, number 12, right? I mean, dear Lord, shit. Come on, let's go back to a little bit of a time that when I was a little kid. Fuck, they even put Kiss up on there, a live album, Peter Frampton live, all these live fucking albums. They're not even on this list. Actual real fucking recordings, and they're not on this list, but we get fucking Radiohead twice. All right, Fleetwood Mac. Oh, finally we get some goddamn sense in the past fucking 5 albums.
Okay.
This is a huge fucking album, Chris.
I was
it is.
Gonna say, if Stevie Nicks don't show up once,
let's say there's a truck stop, and this truck stop, you went to 5 of them, and it's 80% or 90% music, and you just took a pad in there, and you were like, hey, what are the most influential, what are the biggest albums of all time? I guarantee you would hear Fleetwood Mac at least 5 out of 10. And this Rumors album is fucking huge. I've said certain things already throughout this fucking list. Okay, let's put this. What was it? A John Cusack movie? What the hell is the fucking name of that goddamn movie? I talked about it before, where he owns this record store.
High Fidelity.
Thank you, High Fidelity. And when he's at home, he even talks about how he talks to the camera. That in that movie, he even talks about this goddamn fucking album. It's actually one of the most underrated musicians of all times. The guitarist is Lindsey Buckingham. Lindsey Buckingham is fucking phenomenal. I had to get that off my chest.
Can I ask an interesting question? Do you feel some sort of importance being like you You like us. I'm speaking to you through a like us point of view, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel some sort of importance to like be a gap kind of? So I feel like there's like a camp A and a camp B. There's
Fuck yeah.
There's like the new school of music, and there's like the old school of music, and I feel like we're like these like middle children that appreciate both. That's what I feel all the time, and I'm like, respect the old and pick what you can out of the new. The new
Now you know
not
what it's
that
like.
great.
You know what it's like to be a Generation X.
Right.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. And I'm not trying to say that you don't know what it's like, but this is what it's like to be me.
Right.
Generation X. Because they say Generation X, we understand more about the baby boom generation. My parents, right? We get it more. We're the closest to understanding what it was like, when America was truly supposedly great. That's what they say. But at the same time, Generation X is the first generation of experiencing what it's like to not be able to retire.
Well,
we're in the middle.
Wait. Yeah, we're in the middle. We're like the middle children of the whole fucking thing. And if I can go further, I feel like we're also the technological gap, because there was before us, it was like people that didn't experience technology, and then there's this generation ahead of us that is like so in tune with everything, and I feel like we're like the gap is of that as well, because we experienced the technology first.
When it comes to technology, when it comes to music, I'm pissed off. I'm looking at this list right here, Chris, and I'm doing everything I can to be respectful towards, and I'm glad at least there's a swing of how important this list is taking. Eventually, there's going to have to be a new generation. And you're seeing a list of albums. In other words, you're seeing. I'm not sure if you're what you're basically called after my Generation X. Is it the millennials? I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what it's called.
Yes, millennials.
So they're giving this list, I think, more respect to millennials more than anybody else on this list.
That's fair.
And I'm not trying to say that's bullshit, that it's not right, that it's not cool. But I think this is more drawn towards millennials than even Generation Z. And I see, like what you're saying there, I hear more millennials respect, let's say, more my generation of music. And because you're pissed off of what's being created right now, because what's being created now,
trash.
It's
disposable.
It's no talent involved. You have everything else doing it for you. Mm-hmm. You take this band, you take Fleetwood Mac, since we're right here, every single one of these individuals. You take Fleetwood, obviously he's a percussionist, and you have, of course, Chrissy. She was, she was a songwriter. She was a vocalist. She played piano. Her husband, ex-husband, of course, at the time, he was a bassist. Lindsey Buckingham. A lot of people, I guarantee you, if they pay attention to anything that's listed when it comes to the old school rock and roll, if they look at two guitarists, legendary rock and roll guitarist, Jimi Hendrix, I talked about him earlier. I talked about enough about Edward Van Halen. But Lindsey Buckingham is a phenomenal, a mind-blowing classical guitarist that could just blow your mind away if you ever seen him play live. And of course, everybody knows of Stevie Nicks. These are all musicians.
Yes.
These guys right here, they went into a studio and they had to bring, you know what, we can't fuck around. We have to be good when we record today. Because everything they did was recorded on linear tape. Not a fucking computer, They didn't have Pro Tools. They had to bring, we got to bring our A game.
And how much practice was required to hone their skill before they even got in that fucking studio. It's not like fucking sitting down at a computer now and being like, oh, I didn't like that take and I got to fucking erase that.
Exactly. I could take a guitar, one of my guitars, and try to play like when we started off earlier. And if I found, oh, that was good, let's try it again. They can loop that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably did that back in the day. But when they had to go on stage to play it live, they didn't have a machine to loop it for them. Today, we talked about this at a previous podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You have these DJs go up on there. Well, I'm sorry, I can't do it because my Mac's down.
Hey, that was, I said, who was that?
There's, I honestly, I don't.
Who is that? That was like Haley. What was that? Haley Williams?
And this
Haley,
is what I honestly, I don't fucking know.
Names.
And when I seen that, I got to thinking about a man who I fucking idolized, a man who I treasured, a man who I fucking just worshipped. And I'm so glad that his son had an opportunity to learn to be a musician from roots. You, Chris, who is a mechanic, who's an engineer when it comes to cars, you understand the roots of what that mechanics or what it's involved with the car. You know that your car can't, well, I'm sorry, I can't turn on my computer in order to make the car run right.
Right.
You basically, you're going to learn how to drive this thing as a manual transmission because today it's just not going to work as an automatic. His father taught his son how to be a true musician. In other words, he didn't, we got to get on the computer here to teach you how to play the drums, the guitar. You got to learn how to do things as a musician.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Oh my sweet
to
Lord.
the rap culture.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
But the rap culture today is not even rap culture. They're entertainers. They're not even rap artists. They don't understand poetry. Lemonade, what the fuck? I have no fucking idea.
Beyonce's on this fucking list twice, and she's above Stevie Nicks.
Number 10.
Wow.
Okay, we're obviously getting some songs here. Sometimes even Beyonce has to summon her inner Beyonce. What the fuck is that?
Okay. Listen,
is that water she's trying to sell.
I'm gonna give this because this was her best album. This was.
I fucking hope so. Top 10.
This was phenomenal. This was a great album. This is not generational.
Pray you catch me. Hold up. Don't hurt yourself.
Good album.
Jack White.
This album came pretty much from her learning that Jay-Z cheated on her. So this was her kind of calling him out.
Oh, okay. Stop. Okay. Okay. That was her husband or her husband. I don't know. Oh no, JC cheated on you.
Yeah. So, this album was good, but this is not a
100 21st century top 10.
This is not
right. So,
this is not
number.
This is a good album. Okay.
I'm sorry. My husband, my bitch of a husband, he cheated on me. He fucked me up. He made me just a miserable bitch. I'm going to call the album Lemonade.
Well, what do you make? What do you make when life gives you lemons?
It still is a fucking lemonade. I'm sorry.
Man,
it just
I would lump her into the category with Taylor Swift. They're both good artists. It's good, but it's not generational. You can't do this with that. This is some album that they lumped into here to like raise feminine, you know what I'm saying? feminine
All the single
and
ladies.
empowerment.
All the single ladies.
Yeah, shit like that.
All
Great
right,
album. Great album. I listened to it several times. Very very good album, but not generational. Not
honestly,
gonna
if
do
it ain't got no balls to it, I don't fucking give a shit. Speaking of balls, I said that purposely because I knew actually it was coming up. By the way,
listen,
I will never fucking get tired of one of the most powerful records that was created in 1991.
Sure.
This fucking album changed so many lives. And oh my God.
That's a powerful word right there. Hyperbole. Mm-hmm. Damn. Look at Dave. Damn.
There are so many fans, and you already know this, Chris. You can understand, I know for a fact. There are so many people in this world, around the world, that when Nirvana was first heard, it was kind of like the Beatles. It was like me when I heard Van Halen for the first time in Peach's record store. But when this goddamn album, Smells Like Teen Spirit, came on MTV, it was a lot of bands in the late 80s like, oh, fuck.
What's going on?
Yeah. It had so much. There's, they say a picture says 1,000 words. This band here saying millions of words later. It was so incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
Man.
Sadly, to this day,
catharsis. It's a good word to use. It's like we're so sick of the overproduction and all the hair bands and stuff like that. It's like this is the catharsis to all of that. We are completely stripped down. We are fucking naked. Let's fucking present it to the world. Kurt Cobain was that.
Right now I'm just guessing because I'm not really able to see a monitor for myself at this point. But today, if you buy this album, it's thick. It sounds amazing on vinyl. Just talking personal. I'm just this particular album here. I'm not going to talk about my personal feelings on how I think Kurt Cobain really passed away. Let's just say if I'm right about my feelings on this, the world got fucked because we never had a chance to hear more Nirvana.
It's pretty hard to... No, we're not going to... No. I'm not. In other words,
when John Lennon was when John Lennon was executed, when he was shot in the back, I think 8 or 9 times back in 1980. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, I was one of those individuals. I was 21 years old when this album came out. Oops, and I almost destroyed it. But when this album came out, I was just obsessed with it. I was obsessed with Nirvana when I first, and of course, we had this wasn't their first album. I'm sorry. But this is technically when I first discovered Nirvana. And
second.
Yes. Bleach was the first. You know what? I'm not going to go through the whole thing. In other words, folks, let's sum it up because I go down a rabbit hole. It's just not about me and my personal experience. I would highly recommend if you enjoy Nirvana, because I know a lot of people do. Hell, there are kids of Chris's daughter's age that are getting in Nirvana. It's kind of like the Beatles all of a sudden all over again. If you could get this album, I would get it because the guy he's an adult now, obviously. He's trying so hard to have this album cover removed.
Yeah. I wouldn't want my
yeah, but you know what? His mom got paid for it. In other words, hey, you know what? You signed. We have an agreement. This is basically Nirvana Capital Company, whatever. In other words,
oh boy, well, that's a gray area right there. I wouldn't.
You know what? Let's just put it this way. Kurt's daughter basically owns the rights to this. And of course, Dave, and of course, Chris.
Well, I'm happy you didn't go to what's her name.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Oh yes. There's the man right there. Oh, thank you so much. Butch Vig. Oh yes. This guy, of course, if you're looking at this picture right now, it's a video. He's technically the fourth member of Nirvana. He was also the drummer for Garage. But oh my God. I'm sorry. We're dwelling too much on this is number 9. I'm glad that Nirvana, at least I could honestly say I have at least one of my personal favorites in the top 10. So I'm happy there. Amy Winehouse.
Wow. Really? Really?
Chris, by the way, off subject, you got to get this on your vinyl collection. It's just... Yeah. Okay.
I want that, and I definitely want the Black Album. That's like that's really up there. It's hard finding the
it's just
really
thick.
trying to find the limited edition one, and it's busting me in the balls. I mean, it can't be found for under $160, I don't think.
I'll tell you what, it was meant to happen. When I got the DMX album, I can't find it now. I can't. And if it is, it was meant to happen. So
she's up on the, did I send you pictures?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh,
this is thick.
She's up on the wall. It's got its own little frame and everything. Yeah.
Because you bought another DMX album on LP, vinyl. It's on the wall. What is that one again?
That's his second album. He created that first album, and then he created the second album within 6 months. He had 2 number 1 albums in the same year. He's the only rap artist to ever do that.
Okay. What was his label?
Def Jam.
That's right. Well, they obviously had a huge contract with him then at the beginning,
Mm-hmm. 3 record contract, actually. Yeah.
Geffen Records. Amy Winehouse.
I got nothing. I don't know.
I know there's a lot of people out there that are huge fans of Amy. I never particularly followed Amy. I understand she's got she had an amazing blues vocal. I'm just going to leave it at that. At number 8, I think it's a sympathy. I'm saying it's a sympathy number there.
Yeah, me personally, I lump her in the category with Whitney Houston. I don't particularly like artists that throw their lives away.
Yeah.
I
think Whitney Houston,
inside of top 100 sounds fucking asinine to me. That sounds fucking absurd. I don't think she should be on this list at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know a lot of people be like, "Well, I can't believe you said that, Amy Winehouse."
I don't give a fuck. You know what?
Sometimes
start your own podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes the truth fucking hurts. All right, here. What? There you go, Kendrick. I know this name from you. So you're one of your favorite at number 7. You know what? This almost looked like the album cover, by the way.
Wow.
God damn it.
Wow.
I'm butchered the names right now.
Wow.
Black Keys. They have an album cover that looks just like this. Similar.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Okay. I got you. Yeah. Totally.
Hip hop storyteller at its most. Okay, so you got a little bit of there you go, Chris. You got a little bit of you had to go through some other bullshit. Now you got number 7. Is that acceptable for you? This is top 10 right now.
That is amazing. Good Kid, Mad City is damn. What a great wow. What a great fucking wow. I'm actually really surprised by that.
Well, happy birthday.
Wow.
You got to. I mean, I'm happy with Nirvana being at number 9. I'm not going to get any better than that, most likely on this list. So yeah, okay, I ain't bitch.
The only way that could be topped is DMX.
Yeah, I understand.
But Kendrick, I mean, it's literally like probably for me, like you're talking DMX.
He almost looks Jamaican.
DMX, Eminem. I think Kendrick's number 3 for me, man. I mean, he does.
He's got a Jamaican vibe to him, the way his nose is and all.
What a phenomenal fucking artist. The man's a fucking genius. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, they got kind of a high bridge right there.
If I could, like, I don't even know how to like break down his bars and the things that he can do inside of his lyrics is just in fucking insane.
So he's obviously so far. No, shut up. Jake Sinek is right number 7. Shut up, Scott. So let me go back a little bit here.
Oh man.
God damn, what album is that with Black Keys? There's something this album cover.
No, kind of talking about. It's little.
I've got I used to.
Wow, God. Give me a second.
No, I've got this on like widescreen right now, so
I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right.
Let's
get a number. Do what?
El Camino?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad Stevie Wonder is in the top 10 because Stevie Wonder, for everyone out there, I'm going to say that's been born or that's in their 20s, 35 years old, possibly 40s. This man right here is an absolute musical genius. Stevie Wonder, you don't hear a lot his name today, but I'm telling you what, this was, let's put it this way, even Prince puts Stevie Wonder up on a pedestal at one time.
Sure.
And this album right here, I actually had this on cassette, and it's phenomenal. This was an album, Stevie Wonder. Could you imagine, just pretend for one moment that you cannot see.
Right.
This man recorded this album in its entirety. In other words, he played all the instruments on this album.
Right.
That is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Of course, he writes the lyrics, he writes and the music. In other words, he's another Prince. And it's not just Stevie Wonder wrote music for so many other artists out there. And he did a lot of music for movies and stuff as well. He's a composer. So I'm thankful, and I'm so thankful to see that Stevie Wonder is in the top 10 because he fucking deserves it. You don't hear his name as much today, but he deserves it. And I've always said that Stevie Wonder has been underrated even the past 20 years.
When you talk about artists with inflictions, it's yeah. I mean, he's definitely among the greats.
I just wish more. I just wish kids would understand how incredibly you just, like I said, you don't hear Michael Jackson would not exist without Stevie Wonder. Seriously, he would not exist.
I mean, you're talking like, Beethoven with his, he was deaf. You're talking that level.
Yeah, and how many artists have you heard of that since then too? That's amazing.
Right. I mean, he used to actually compose his songs where he would bite the bridge of the piano and just feel the vibrations through his teeth.
You don't get that. You haven't. I just wish, and I'm sure kids that absolutely love music, they find that so fascinating. This just pisses me off when schools have taken music out of, when music is not in school anymore, when it's not being taught anymore, when it's not being shared. I don't fucking get that. I never will.
I don't get a lot of things in school right now. They're pretty much setting our kids up to lose. I don't even want to talk about it.
If you listen to Sir Duke, it's like, how the fuck did that man do that song? How the fuck did he do that? Okay, if let's say if anyone's watching and listening, well, thank you so much. If you're amazed how Dave Grohl has done, Dave Grohl, the best drummer of all times. Now, Dave Grohl is fucking blown away. He still doesn't understand how Stevie Wonder did the things that he did. If Dave Grohl can't figure out how Stevie Wonder do it, then that ought to tell you something. All right, help me out here, Chris. Who the fuck is this guy? He's obviously not blonde in this photo.
Can you scroll down more?
Frank Ocean, number 5.
Are you kidding me?
I have no fucking clue who this is. He's afraid to take a picture.
Frank Ocean, man. I mean, he's more R&B. He's more of a
takes care of himself.
I mean, he's an R&B guy. He's like I think he produces several songs. He's an accomplished producer and lyricist. But wow.
Title The Boys Don't Cry.
Wow. I don't understand. 5? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I mean, I'm not. If he's but aside, if his talent, his musicianship, and all that, I don't know who he is.
I mean,
obviously,
he's very accomplished. He's very successful. He has tons of collaborations. He's a vocalist. He does tons of things, but a generational list, I don't know about that.
I appreciate a musician, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know anything about him. That's my first instinct is like, well, if he's a songwriter, musician, okay, props there, but I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting in his work, but
number 5 already. Wow,
so that
kind of makes you wonder. Okay, makes you want to know more about him.
That's an important thing right there. Can we address that? Like,
yeah,
I said putting in work. He's putting in his work right now. To be on this list, you need to be established.
Yeah,
you need to have already done your greatest work. You know what I mean?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You have to be at least in the or you have to be known at least 25 years or something like that.
I don't know about that. I'm
number 5.
I'm not on the bandwagon there.
Yeah, wow. if I remember correctly, you have to Purple Rain.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. I was getting a little scared there for a moment. Number 4, Purple Rain. Okay, it's in the top 5.
Okay.
I can live with that.
Makes sense. Frank Ocean right above that is fucking wild. I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay.
Another artist right here, songwriter, music composer, Prince. He can play any instrument in this world. Well, he did. Let's put it this way: he was. I don't want to exaggerate that. In other words, Prince could pretty much.
You could hand that man a broom and he'd probably play it.
Exactly. Thank you. His lyricist, everything. It's so funny. I love the fact that when they'd see Prince up on stage play guitar, and every once in a while there would be certain videos, like if he was up on stage with another great, which so far is not on here, Tom Petty. Tom Petty was an amazing song artist, an amazing storyteller, and it breaks my heart. I don't think he's going to be on this list, but Tom Petty deserves so much more credit right now. But to see, yes, fucking Prince was that guy could play guitar like no other, but he could play any instrument. But he was just he was a powerhouse in the 80s. Michael Jackson there's no doubt about it. Michael Jackson, I don't want to take anything away from Michael Jackson. I just don't. I loved Michael Jackson. We all did. Chris has his own, he shared of the podcast too, but Michael Jackson is, he's an important part of music culture history. Prince, I think enough of you know by now, he's definitely as well. Prince, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say, with no disrespect to Michael Jackson, Prince was actually more musically talented on a certain scale as a musician.
That's undisputed. That's undisputed.
But like I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Michael Jackson, because what he brought is beyond powerful as well.
If you could take Jackson's talent,
it's like apples and oranges.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking a full-on musician. You're talking a full-on composer and a producer and the entertainer. You're talking about so much more things. You're talking about, I know he's the king of pop, but no, yeah.
To be fair,
no,
I want to say Michael Jackson was probably better as an actor on The Wiz than Prince was in Purple Rain, the movie. But that doesn't matter. Prince, I know there's enough people in this world that knows how incredible, how amazing Prince and Michael Jackson. It is what it is. And I'm so thankful that Prince is in the top 5, because Lord knows that man, his history, his culture, yeah, it belongs there. There's no doubt about it. Prince, the Beatles, yeah, it's there. And Michael Jackson. I'm just saying. I could think of others, but let's go crazy. I mean, goddamn. Take Me With You, Beautiful Ones, Computer Blue. I mean, Darling Nikki right there. Oh my God. Chris, I'm going to tell you right now, Darling Nikki back in the day as a DJ was banned from most bars. Could you imagine that?
No.
Yeah. Yep. Of course, When Doves Cry. But Darling Nikki, we weren't allowed to play it. If you listen to the lyrics, it's probably the first X-rated song ever. Oh, snap. Here we go.
No, we all knew that was coming, right?
Abbey Road. There's no doubt about Abbey Road. I mean, Chris, I hope that you do watch that Behind the Music. When I heard somebody mention something, an artist talk about the fact that if you had a chance to go to Abbey Road and record an album, just to be in the presence, and then they talked about being at 5150 Studios, it's the same thing. But I have this out, or I used to have this every fucking song. If anybody loves the Beatles, they know how fucking important this album is.
How about all the lore behind it? There was tons.
I hate to say this. In other words, I don't want to be disrespectful for people out there that are, religious, but there's the Bible and there's the Beatles Abbey Road. It's just like that, folks. And of course, Sgt. Pepper, Ozzy Osbourne can tell you better than I could. That right there was the biggest selling album of all time.
I mean, there's so many like little hidden shits on the front of that album, Sgt. Pepper. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah, and the thing of it is with the Beatles, they were so responsible for everything. So many artists back in the day, when they witnessed the Beatles perform on stage, they were like, they seen them there. Their heart was overwhelmed. They knew that this is what they wanted to do. This is what got started it for all of us. If you want to take what's on top of a Christmas tree as an angel, that's right there, and it pivoted down.
So cool little side note here. There's a movie. I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, but there's this guy that pretty much. He wakes up one day and all the Beatles songs were pretty much erased.
I know what you're talking about.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I remember even seeing the trailer on that, what you're talking about.
It was I didn't expect Ed Sheeran to make such a prominent role in the movie, but it was a fun little movie. I mean, it was pretty good, man. Like, it was pretty much like all the Beatles songs were erased from the world, and he would rewrite them and he would sing them to the entire world.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty good. I forget the name of it now, but so good.
Which actually, if I remember, I'm trying to think of the name because it's from one of the Beatles songs. I'm just from this particular right here. I'm looking at the titles of these songs, and every song, every title I come together, I hear the song. Something in the Way She Moves. That's actually from George Harrison, or George Harrison wrote that one. George Harrison, it's so funny. You always hear people later say he was one of my favorite Beatles. They say, I love it. That's one thing I love about Ozzy Osbourne, because he always talks like me. I always talk about Edward Van Halen. Every time you hear Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary Ozzy Osbourne, he always talks about the Beatles. He loved them so much, and they'd always like it. I've heard him interviews. They would ask Ozzy, or I've heard 3 interviews, whatever, with Ozzy Osbourne. They're like, all right, who is it? Who are you? Team Paul or Team John? He's like, what are you talking about? I love them both. Paul, John, I love them both. He had a chance. This is how amazing he has said it every fucking time. This is coming from Ozzy Osbourne, as we all know. Ozzy be the first to tell you he doesn't have exactly, but the the best track record of history. But when he had a chance to meet Paul McCartney, he has said this every fucking time I've heard this. He said, when I met Paul McCartney, I'm not trying to do, obviously, I'm not doing an impression of Ozzy Osbourne. He says, when I met Paul McCartney, it was like meeting God. No, sorry, it was like meeting Jesus. I mean,
wow.
That's fucking huge. Ozzy Osbourne is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, not once, but twice.
That's absurd.
Black Sabbath, and now Ozzy Osbourne. And then when he talks about the Beatles as much and his passion as much as he has, but when he says that I never had a chance to meet John Lennon and it tears his soul apart, but meeting Sir Paul McCartney was like meeting Jesus, that is just beyond. It's just to hear that, it puts chills down your spine. For me, it does.
I got nothing on that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we scroll down to Mr. Michael Jackson himself.
You know,
wow. This is an incredible album.
So I mentioned
it almost brings tears to your eyes.
Oh man, I mentioned it on the last podcast how I used to dress up when I was little. Bad. You know Bad?
Oh yeah. Think of Weird Al's I'm Fat. Sorry.
God. I loved that song oh man.
Yo, ding dong, ding dong. Sorry, I'm thinking the Weird Al version.
Oh,
hey,
man.
Jake Patton, if you're listening to this podcast or watching, remember when you brought this album to the podcast? There you go, brother. I'm sorry.
I don't know where. Is this? This is
number 2.
Gotta be one of the most downloaded, bought, purchased albums in history.
I'm proud to say I don't have proof of it now, but I'm proud to say that I've owned Michael Jackson's Thriller on vinyl twice, on cassette 3 times. I don't think I had it on. Yeah, I had it on CD, but I've never downloaded it on streaming. Not disrespectful, because I can listen to it anytime I want. I think we all can. The fact that I actually purchased it, physical media, more than once, more than twice, because that's how fucking incredible this album was. And my Edward Van Halen, of course, was on.
Who is
one track
executive on this? Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones. He produced the album.
Yeah,
engineered it.
Say what you want, but
everybody fucking loved this album.
It's
number 2.
They did what they did.
You want to be starting something?
I mean, you could literally go probably every song and
every song.
Yeah.
Every damn song. PYT.
Hey, this Paul McCartney again.
But the fact that, oh my God. I mean, I'd naturally go there with Beat It. The fact that Edward Van Halen, that's Thriller. There we go for you horror fans out there.
Billie Jean, man.
That was the first. I remember where I was in my living room with my own mother watching the moonwalk for the first time. I think it was a Motown 25th, whatever. And we're watching Michael Jackson up on stage. He's got that hat, that music. And when he did that moonwalk, everybody was like, what the fuck did I just see? My mom said it was very much like when the Beatles went on Ed Sullivan. And I was not even thought of with Ed Sullivan with the Beatles. But the fact that I watched Michael Jackson do the moonwalk for the first time, I swear to God, Chris, it was like watching a man walk on the moon in real time.
The lean.
The lean was cool, but I'm telling you, there was the moonwalk.
Man.
That moonwalk, Chris, I'm telling you, it blew people's minds. It was a goddamn simple. Everybody mocked it after a while.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, I mean, for all of us horror fans out there, when the Thriller, that video came out, that was like a mini movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm telling you what, all of us Halloween fans, we go back, we talk about our favorite masks, our favorite Michael Myers, blah, 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 blah. But come on. If you don't, even go back to that Thriller fucking video and not see the similarity, the importance of John Landis of directing it, and how incredible the choreographing and everything else, the way it was brought up. That goddamn fucking song, that album, everything about it. I mean, you have the late, great Vincent Price. Everything about that fucking time, that song, that album was just beyond magical. I'm sorry, I'm ruining it for you, Chris. I'm going back to my childhood when this album came out. It was just, I'm fucking so happy to see it number 2.
No, it's just I think some things make sense and some things are just like, what the fuck happened?
This is what happens with me when I go down in memories of music.
I'm very interested to see where you. Oh my god, you gotta be shitting me.
Did we just get our fucking faces slapped hard? The misdirection of Lauryn Hill.
Miseducation.
Yeah, sorry. Miseducation. All right, it's late. Sorry. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Number 1.
Okay. Listen.
This got bitch slapped.
Listen. Okay. Okay. Wow. What? There's nowhere I can go with this.
I just got done sucking Michael Jackson's dead dick, and now I come to this.
So I don't know where to go.
Well, thank you for watching, listening to Amis in the Man Cave's Apple's bullshit number whatever.
Listen, this is part of my purchased albums. This is a good album. Lauryn Hill's a great artist. She's great. I would put Erykah Badu above her. This is a good album. Lost Ones, I mean, X Factor, come on. Great songs. But when you're putting Thriller,
Abbey Road,
when you're putting any of these
Purple Rain,
any of these albums, a Prince album, when you're putting any of these albums up against this, is fucking wow. Wow. I don't know what I don't know what the fuck I don't know what Apple's Hey.
I'm curious to know how many people out there would know at least 3 songs off of this album in the past 20 years.
Well, I Lost Ones, X Factor, and Doo Wop. I got you right there. That's literally the top 3. And they're good songs, but that's not standing up to, man. Wow.
Are you getting sick and tired of always losing at hide and go seek? Well, go open a can of Meet Us in the Man Cave beer. It friggin' tastes awesome.
Drink responsibly. Only available at Bubba.
Where the fuck was Sheila Easton's album on this list? Nowhere to be found.
That's a crime.
It is. The Brady Bunch variety album.
I don't believe that.
The list could go on and on of utter bullshit. Utter bullshit. You heard me say that. Well, Chris, I think we have attacked this list as much as everybody else has on this long ass, I've bitched about wanting to do music. I think we pretty much took care of that here.
We got a lot of, well, I won't say we, because unless I drive over there, I'm not able to edit this with you, but there's a lot of fucking shit here.
It's going to be a pretty raw, simple, at least I hope so. Yeah. And this being episode 33, I have a feeling Chris and I are going to have to really sit down and come to a decision on when we're going to cut it short here on season 2, because we really have to focus on season 3. And if you understand anything about preparing for something in the future, hopefully you'll understand. So thank you so much for watching, listening to our, bullshit. If you disagree or agree or whatever when it comes to, you know what, it's there. It's on the web. You could Google it yourself, or if you're, like many of us, you can get on Safari and find it or whatever. It's right there.
Or let's have the conversation. Give us some comments. Let's have the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. What is your top? Don't, please do yourself a favor. Don't put 100 songs there, but your top 5 albums. We're not going to give you shit if you put out, the Smurfs favorite or all time favorite or whatever the Smurfs album is.
Hell no. Let us know. Like, fuck, Fraggle Rock was left off the fucking was left off the top 10. I can't fucking believe it.
Because that shit was down at Fraggle Rock. And He-Man. I mean, yeah. It's yeah. When it's your top 10, it's your top 5. It's so much safer that way. But when certain companies say, "Nope, this is it," sounds like what politicians do. Fucking assholes. All right. That being said, thank you so much for joining, following, subscribing, liking, tickling, waving, and drinking.
Go on and hit that button. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to.
Chris and I would like to thank you for watching or listening to Meet Us in the Man Cave. Since you enjoyed watching us, make sure that you tell all your friends and family to subscribe to Meet Us in the Man Cave here on YouTube. Make sure you click on that notification bell. That way you're notified on our next video podcast or live stream video. Better yet, if you appreciate freedom of speech and oppose of censorship for content creators, make sure you follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Rumble. Are you on Discord? Well, Meet Us in the Man Cave's there. Come and hang out with us. You can find and follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And as always, you can listen and download Meet Us in the Man Cave on your favorite podcasting app. Available to stream or download so you can listen all you want, whenever you want. For more information, go to meetusinthemancave.podbean.com.